Hello, Fringers, Spacers, and the Rebel Alliance. I need to speak to you again at the top of the show about the events over this weekend in the U.S. This Sunday, Jacob Blake was shot by a white police officer in the back 7 times in front of his children in Kenosha, Wisconsin. I wish I could say that this is surprising, that even during constant nationwide protests and demonstrations against police brutality, we continue to see law enforcement respond with violence and escalation in front of cameras with impunity. However, the sobering reality is this is no surprise at all. And it's why police reform is not possible, because reform requires both parties to desire change, and law enforcement, local and federal, have shown us citizens over and over they are not interested in meaningful reform. Their first response is always escalation, showing they would rather control citizens than arrest offenders within their own organizations. This is why police abolitionism and law enforcement defunding is necessary to address the injustice of the system at its core. Here at Respect the Crit, you know we believe that Black Lives Matter. Provided in the show notes are links to ways to support the anti-racism protests, such as the Milwaukee Freedom Fund, helping to keep protesters out of jail and able to continue to demonstrate. Please donate your money if you are able. On a local level, donations like water and food are also welcome. If you can, donate your time to adding to the numbers of people and voices showing up to protest. There will be more protests in the days ahead. Those numbers count, and they help us organize in our local communities. We have also provided emails and numbers to contact officials in the city of Kenosha, Wisconsin. Please consider contacting these officials to demand accountability from their law enforcement agencies and demand justice for the shooting of Jacob Blake. You can voice your outrage and demand accountability regardless of if you live in Kenosha or the state of Wisconsin. And as always, please contact your representatives and let them know about your frustration. Links are provided in the show notes with helpful tools on how to find your reps, how to contact them, and scripts to use or copy as a template to organize into your own words. They're tools that I use frequently, and they really help me to speak with confidence over the phone. Leave voicemails, send emails, and ask questions about the actions your reps are taking right now to eliminate racism and police brutality. There is a long road ahead of us to enact social justice in this country, and we will help all of us by working on this together. Thank you very much, and please enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to Respect the Crit. I'm your host and game master, Ian Duncan, and I am sitting with and surrounded by some very good friends and talented people. Firstly, always here, always near, Jamie Lee Bones.
Hello, I'm Jamie. I play Elo, the modified medical droid.
Nice, I like that. You should do that every single time. Also with us, near and dear to all of our hearts, Alex Herrera.
Hi, I'm Alex, and I play Pickaxe, the Doug Slicer.
But today you are playing a droid, it sounds like, for some reason. I am Pickaxe.
I gotta get into Pickaxe. Okay, here I am. Hey,
Where is he? Where is he?
Just gotta add some gravel and some wine, some tar, smoke a few death sticks. There we go.
Yeah, let me find some death sticks from the kitchen real quick.
Well, let's jump right in. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Episode 21, Strange Fog. Elo and Big Axe have arrived near the Imperial base on Scarif to deliver crates of contraband for Zalto the Hutt, a criminal element on the nearby planet of Socorro. The Fringers have taken on this job and hatched a plan to reveal their role in an assassination plot against Zalto in hopes of gaining his favor. With a bounty on Big Axe's head and an unpredictable corruption in Elo's programming, the Fringers fly towards danger and the threat of being caught once more.
Our camera pans up to a beautiful jewel of a planet. It is everything that Socorro is not. Mostly covered by this azure water, pristine beaches of sand just dotted all over the landscape of this inviting looking ball. And then crossing over it like a dark spear slicing through is the tip, the point of a large ship, cutting up through the bottom of it up to the top. And we see an immense Star Destroyer, Imperial Star Destroyer, floating above this beautiful planet. Let's start off with a destiny roll.
I got 2 light side.
Alex, lay it on us.
1 dark side.
Not bad. It's fine.
It is bad because I feel like this dice is all dark side. If I look at this dice.
I also rolled 1 dark side. And the Wills of the Force are intervening, and they have decided to challenge you with a dark side point.
No!
Motherless monsters, all of them.
It was very close, but and again, this is a dark side point that once used evaporates from the game. It cannot be converted to the light side. A ship exits hyperspace and begins flying its trajectory towards the planet's surface. A YT-2400 freighter with, both in Bothan and in Basic, the Way on its side. It has seen better days at this point. Sparks and flotsam trail off of it as it makes its way through this gateway of Imperial Star Destroyers. Inside, we see a Doug at the wheel, hanging on, holding the ship together. What is Bigex thinking at this moment?
Bigex is thinking that this is a terrible idea. Like, he's having all those regrets. Like, why am I here? Why did I do this? I should just die in the alleyway on Bathawui. As he looks at these Star Destroyers, these semi-stationary or slow-moving guardians of the Empire. And he knows that at any chance that they get a whiff of who he is, it's bad news, you know? So he'll just continue pushing the buttons necessary to keep the ship flying, keep it floating on course.
Also, somewhere in this ship is a droid, a droid of seemingly many droid parts, and now accompanied by a smaller droid, sort of like buzzing around their head. Jamie, what is LO doing?
LO is letting Barney sort of float around them as they're checking all of our credentials before we pull into this port, because this is super above LO's pay grade in what they've experienced taking shipments in and out of ports. So they're sort of dotting all the I's, crossing all the T's, making sure that this fraudulent paperwork or digital paperwork is the best that it could be.
What does Barney look like?
I kind of picture Barney as looking like Eva from WALL-E. Like a little mini version, maybe a little bit more circular and like conforms into more of a round shape than that, and not like with a floating head and floating arms. Everything's put together, but like how their eyes are, how Eva's eyes are, I pictured that, and maybe the head like pops back in when he's attached to me.
Yeah, so they've like got sort of like an interface, like an anthropomorphized interface of eyes or something. Yes. That are like little lights. Okay, I like that. That's very cool. Definitely
more advanced than LO themselves.
Yeah, oh. That's cool. I like it. You can see those eyes just sort of like looking back and forth, sort of matching the nervousness of LO. And you can also, anytime Barney gets near Bigex, it also has like worried eyes and like a sweat drop.
Cute.
You know what? It's not my fault, man. Just get over it. It has shot you. It's over.
Sitting there also is a human woman, shaved head, sort of like smuggler leathers on, and she's just sort of like looking at Bigex, and she's like, "Hey, just like keep your distance, flying here. But don't look like you're keeping your distance.
Yeah, I know how to fly.
Okay. I'm just saying, casual.
And he just grips I would assume, like, the wheel or whatever the equivalent is to, like, navigate. He's gripping it tighter. But, I get it. I understand.
And it's at this moment that he's gripping it, like there's some kind of kick as something fails, some like energy source like fails and creates an alarm throughout the ship.
Big Axe looks at the system controls like, what the crap? And he starts flicking switches and getting like a systems readout.
Yeah, it's all bad.
Oh no.
No, there's no one source. It's just all like shit.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, we're gonna have to request repairs. I need someone who pretend to be the captain.
We're not gonna stick around for repairs, are we?
He points to the screen on the console, and it's just like flashing red. Unless you know that this thing can fly through another jump.
I mean, hyperdrive's still online, so that's good.
You ever try and jump with the hull half damaged?
No, I don't think so. Have you?
No, but I know in theory it's bad. And he will hail whatever the tower, whatever the like, hey, command tower, this is blah blah blah. He'll hail them. Hello, this is the way dropping off shipments for the Empire.
Yeah, so what you actually see, the planet Scarif is a little bit smaller than Socorro or Bothawui or Malastare, and it has this circular space station that's sort of above its atmosphere. Around it, sort of like sort of expanding out on all sides of it, is waves of an energy field. It looks like an energy shield that's sort of surrounding this whole planet, and this circular space station is sort of like the aperture from which that you can see ships passing in and out of, moving through here. And someone responds to your hail. They're like, welcome to Scarif, the most boring, beautiful Imperial base on the edge of the galaxy.
Awesome. Yeah, we have shipment here. We should be on your dossier. We're ready to land. Please advise.
All right. Yeah, I see you are cleared for landing on landing pad Dorn. Huh. I don't see a lot of military YT-2400s.
No, civilian registered.
Civilian? Huh. 1 second. Hear it click off.
He actually gets more nervous. Why do I feel like Salto missed a few steps here?
Ella wants to take Barney and put him in a little drawer, considering this is a stolen object. And they're just going to put him in like a little drawer and say, "Don't worry, I'll come get you in a little bit." And I picture him sort of like chirping away as I'm closing the drawer. Like,
Barney shuts down and goes into ball form to await your return. Meanwhile, click, someone comes back up on your comms. Yeah, landing pad Dorn. Looks like you're clear.
Thank you very much. Also, we'd be remiss if we didn't have someone apply repairs if possible. I don't know what's Imperial policy, but we could really use a nice patch job. Whatever supplies are extra on hand would be much appreciated.
You'll have to take that up with the quartermaster on the landing site. That's not. We're just directing traffic.
Got it. Okay, thanks for your help.
Have a lovely time. And you can just hear like a depression almost in this voice.
We share the same emotions. Flight attendant or flight director. Yeah, I'll take her in.
You pass through this aperture, through the shield, and you can see as you're going down through this circular space station, there's a hangar bay for TIE fighters to be deployed from here. There are people like moving around this base as you pass down through it and enter the most gorgeous planet you have ever seen. It is the polar opposite of Socorro. As you come flying in, like, the beaches are this like beautiful fine sand. There's this gorgeous water everywhere, these towering palm trees that are just swaying, and like all of your sensors read like beautiful temperate climate, and like it's warm but like breezy and beautiful. And as you come in, the main structure there is sort of like, it's a big base, like a big circular base, and it spokes out to these landing pads. The base looks as if it's being built, and being built vertically, much like the casino that you saw, or that you've seen on Socorro. It looks like it's being built up, and you set down on one of these pads, and you can see here there are a bunch of crates as you land, as well as sort of a horizontal moving elevator that looks like it transports you towards the center.
Interesting.
Okay. Big Axe is going to... I don't know if I should hide.
I mean, you just talked to somebody, but they are separate.
I did talk to them.
They said they were separate,
I mean,
so...
I don't... Maybe they're not looking for me here. I don't know. This is going to be tough. He'll show his face, but he won't engage too much in conversation. He'll just, like, maybe... He doesn't have hair to change. He'll just try and wear, like, different clothes. Like, I'm sure by now he's got, like, some different outfits, stuff.
We have the hoods.
No, I don't want to wear hoods around the Empire. They'll think you're Jedi or something and blow you away. He'll just wear, like, whatever civilian clothes he can find that he's got in his quarters. You're like, all right, this looks pretty normal. He'll definitely hide his new custom deck. That's getting hidden, like, under the bed or something. That's getting stored. And he'll get on the ramp, like, ready to offload from the cargo bay with Elo and Verse. And he'll say, put your guns away, to Verse.
Well, I'll keep it ready.
Just hide it.
Yeah, okay. I gotcha.
And he looks to Elo. I mean, you don't really show your weapons, so just keep them stowed somewhere.
Roger that. I'm with Verse, though. I think we should go in and out.
Yeah, I'm not planning on staying here too long. We just need to patch up job something quick. I mean, and he kind of looks in the cargo bay. You can hear, like, creaking. Like, it doesn't sound very good.
Something falls in the distance. It crashes.
And he will definitely hide his disruptor pistol. Like, that's super hidden. Like, there's no way. Yeah, that's like, he'll open the cargo bridge.
The cargo ramp lowers and it opens up onto a loading dock. There are these crates and materials all over, presumably the cargo you're here to pick up. There is a tall, lanky man in a Imperial uniform, one of the rank and file officers, and he has a data pad with him. His face reminds you of a puckered asshole as he just sort of like glares and glowers at the trio coming down the ramp. Hello. Do you have my cargo?
Yeah, we got it here. And I guess these are like hover crates, I assume, so he's got them coming down.
Unload it here, and you're free to take these crates once everything's off your ship. He gestures to the materials around him.
Sure, thanks. You wouldn't happen to have any repairmen looking to help us out here? And he points to the ship.
Our transaction doesn't involve any repairs.
No, this is strictly... a favor, asking for a favor here.
The Empire doesn't deal in favors.
Well, the Empire doesn't usually deal with huts either, but here we are. He kind of looks to the back, to Elo and Verse, kind of looking at their reactions.
I think Elo would maybe step forward and just look at this butthole face and say... and they would say, "Thank you anyway. Our transaction has been complete." And we'll look down at Bigax. And though obviously being a droid can't really express themselves, gives like a moment of silence that has all of the tension of let's get the fuck out of here, that could possibly be portrayed, and would even turn back around and head towards the ship.
Yeah, he gets it. I think the minute that they stare at him, he's like, oh, okay. We'll wait till it's offloaded. We'll pick up the crates and we'll be out of your hair. And he just kind of nods and turns around.
The officer just sort of like scowls at the three of you and opens up one of the crates, like presses a button, it like opens up. looks inside, just like pulls out the bottle of booze that, like the half-empty bottle of booze that that Verse was drinking out of, and like holds it up, examines it, shrugs, opens it up, and just like takes a drink out of it. Goes to sit on one of the crates.
You can't do that, dude. Corona. I'm just saying.
Hello? God, doesn't he know, dude? Alright, so yeah, we wait till the crates are off, and they take the stuff out of the crates, right? That's the deal?
No, that is something that you pick up on very quickly. There is no one on this pad but you and this officer, and he is sitting on the crate waiting for you to get everything off and unload and offload, and he is just making it very clear he is not lifting a finger to help you load and unload.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll start moving the crates and just kind of talking under my breath. Oh, Griffin. What a Griffin joke. Just keep kind of pushing them as they hover along, making that weird noise they normally make. How many are there? Like 3, 4 of these things?
Way more than that. There's
Oh my god.
Yeah. Like your cargo bay is full of them.
Alright, well yeah, I'll just start moving them as much as I can. Not too quickly, but like quick enough where you can see there's a pace. Like I'm trying to make pace here. And put them down, put them out there, and every time I come out, I'm gonna take like a quick glance around on the pad, like where the hell, like where is everyone? Like there's only this guy, and how many dudes are with him? Just him, or is there a couple other?
There are no other people with him.
That's weird.
This is very strange.
In fact, if you want, you can roll me a perception check on this guy if you want to.
I will do so. Perception is bad.
Jamie, you can also roll if you'd like.
Okay.
What's the difficulty on this check?
The difficulty is average.
I want to roll something different though, so I'll wait until after this.
Okay.
Oh no! 2 advantage and 2 threats.
Maybe it's you're like looking around for other people and you're not seeing anything.
Yeah. Just continuing my cargo offloading because that's my new job.
I would love to roll, I think lore, because I'd like to know, like, for this planet before there was a military presence, what the, I guess, races or whatever that may have been affected by them being here now, you know?
Yes. You can roll me an Outer Rim check.
Outer Rim. Okay, one sec. Yay, I got 3 successes and 1 advantage.
So Elo maybe knows, and you can tell me how that is. Like, this is a beautiful tropical planet that didn't have any, like, inhabitants before the Imperial interest in it. There are flora and fauna here, like these big palm trees, and there's like lizards and brightly colored birds and stuff that sort of fly overhead in the sun, and fish. It's likely like your sensors can pick up fish and stuff like that. Aquatic life, but no known civilizations.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Uninterrupted, you're able to get all of this cargo in and off with this guy, and he's just checking on his data pad and taking swigs off of this bottle.
One of the last boxes I'm gonna like speak up, just out of curiosity. Big Axel looks like, curious why you're the only one on this platform and there's no backup for you.
Really, why?
I mean, he looks at the boxes. Some pretty good stuff, right? I mean, I saw the one you opened. It looks like there's drinks and things in there. I would think if this is stuff for the team down here, you might have somebody watching over it besides just you.
I can have a garrison of troops here in minutes. Is that what you want?
Impressive. Just wondering. Okay, yeah, last one. We'll get out of your hair.
Pleasure.
Yeah, I'm sure. And then he kind of just... B-Gax doesn't even look at the guy, just walks away.
You manage to get all this cargo off the loading dock and load it into your ship's cargo bay. It closes up, and with a few sparks, you leave this absolutely insufferable officer on the way pad and fly back up into atmosphere.
He kind of breathed a sigh of relief. Okay, we got a few problems here. Kind of looks at the readout of the ship again. Do we know of any ports nearby we could get repairs on the price of free?
Out here? Not likely. You think we can't make a jump?
He kind of like scratches, he does that chin rub again when he's anxious. I mean, I'm afraid something's gonna fly off, or a piece of the ship might open up. I'm more worried about those pirates showing up again, because that's 2 for 2 that we've seen them. He looks to Elo, unless I'm doing my math wrong.
Is there any way that we can see them before they see us? Like, can we scan for the ship before we, like, pull in?
Yeah. There's ways that you can do that for sure. In order to do these scans, you'd have to make the jump to the space and then do a scan from there.
I think Ella would bring that up, and they'll just say, if it's possible, perhaps we could approach the planet from a different angle, avoiding the pirates altogether.
Oh, so now we're navigators.
Listen, I never said I could fly. Not that we have a pilot on this ship anyway.
He grips the wheel. All right then, hello. Why don't you run a check? Why don't you run a sensor scan?
Sounds great. What a wonderful idea. And Ella will walk over to whatever systems that they would need to do in order to make that happen. Opening Barney's drawer on the way.
Yeah. Floats up, comes back to life, big happy eyes now on it, and reattaches itself to your back. Versus, like, that's unfair, Elo. Big X is a very competent pilot. Not today, but he's a very competent pilot.
He turns around in the swivel chair. Hey, you know what? Next time we fight pirates, verse Elo, you're more than welcome to come sit in this chair. Oh, wait! And he points to Elo. You backed up into something that could potentially be explosive and damage the shipments. He points to Verse. And you can drive a speeder pretty well, but when there's a storm, and instead of driving into the storm and getting people that are chasing you killed, you decide to just drive around like a maniac. So I'd love to see you at the helm of the ship.
So defensive, Bigax. Click, 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 click.
He spins back around. Let me know when it's done.
This isn't worth 1,000 credits. So yeah, you guys fly up and out of Scarif, up through this aperture again. Tensions sort of begin to ease as you begin to leave this Imperial space. And now you have boxes and boxes of stuff still filling your cargo bay, but no longer contraband that you were carrying. Some of them are in crates, but some of them are like building materials, so like steel beams and like bags of Duracrete and those kind of like stuff to build with.
Oh, we got that from Scarif, right?
Yes, that's what you picked up from Scarif, yeah.
Oh, so I did a lot of work. Oh my god, no wonder I'm in a bad mood. Okay.
Yeah,
tracks.
Yeah. Your ship like flies away back into hyperspace, and you start your journey to Socorro. As you fly through the tunnel of light that is hyperspace, Verse sits in the co-pilot seat of the cockpit, a moment alone with Bigax, and she shifts uncomfortably in her seat before turning to him and saying, "Hey, I just wanted to say, back at Flib's bar, I didn't mean to blow up your spot by introducing you to Quidada, or assuming that you needed a hookup. I didn't know you were asexual, and I'm glad you told me, thank you. But I'm sorry if my assumption otherwise, made you uncomfortable. Listen, for what it's worth, I thought you two would hit it off, she's a Doug, you're a Doug, and I knew she's into pod racing, and you said you were into that, so I thought you two would get along."
Yeah, don't worry about it, it's fine. She seems neat. And he kind of like, when he says it, You can tell like it hurt him to give a compliment.
I don't expect anyone to know what I am. Usually people take one look at me and just assume, I'm a bottom-feeding Doug, which is fine because when I'm smarter than them and I rob from them, it makes it easier when they underestimate me. Anything else is, that's not on them. So don't worry about it.
And he looks at her and kind of just like nods his head.
She mentioned something about a pod race. It'd be really nice to see another one. I haven't seen one in... Oof. It's been a while.
Oh, yeah? How long?
Oh, how long has the Empire been in power?
Too long.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not.
I agree.
And as the ship is roaring through hyperspace, like he'll get like a little alert on his machine, and he's like on the console, and he like looks at it, and he'll mumble,
It'll be fine.
and goes back.
I mean, you ever race? You seem like you know your way around flying.
No, I just, I can't race. I don't think I'm fast enough for that kind of stuff, but I love to watch them. The mechanics of the machines really gets me going. Thinking about, what goes into building one and how to make it better than the others. When I was part of my little pack, my siblings, we always would watch the races on Malastare. Nice rigs. Sometimes we'd sneak onto the track, look at the machines get kicked off by security, but we'd always manage to take a little gift, a little piece. Nothing that would mess up a machine, but maybe a loose bolt on the ground, a limb of a pit droid, something left behind. We'd go home and pretend we were building our own. Never really made one, just little fake ones here and there. I made a bunch of them.
I can't really picture you as a little Doug,
Yeah, just think about a smaller version of me with a much squeakier voice.
Well, I better go check on Ella.
Yeah, I'm sure they're fine.
And hey, you're not a bottom feeding Doug.
Oh, well, I know I'm not now. I mean, I used to be part of the Empire.
Hey, we all gotta start from somewhere. More important is where we're headed.
He'll nod.
As my new friend would say, it's the will of the Force at this point.
Verse goes over to LO to help them out, set up with this. I'm gonna have to hook you up to the ship, is that alright?
Let's hope that's okay. LO will just agree and say, yes, that's fine.
Okay, I'll get it set up now and then we can, I don't know, do what you do? I don't really know what you do.
Well, we're sort of figuring this out together then.
I need you to give me a computer check.
Oh. Okay.
Let's call it hard.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a blue die for assistance from Verse.
Okay, and hard is 3 purple?
Hard is 3 purple,
right.
Yeah.
Wacha! What I got. Okay, 1 success, 3 advantage.
Verse, hooks you in to the interface of the ship, and suddenly, data is pouring out in front of you. What does this look like to LO? What does it look like interfacing with this kind of mechanics?
It's very almost virtual reality-esque, but with data and sort of numbers, where all of these things are in blocks, and in a very sort of Inception type way, you can move and sort of manipulate the data around them. So I'm seeing all of these numbers and ones and zeros in these blocks, but I can move this code around while I'm interacting with the interface,
Okay, cool. And I'm assuming too, when we see this in LO's vision, but when we're outside of them, it's just LO standing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? The physical form is very still, but maybe it's blinking eyes, do or something like that.
Yeah.
What are you looking for? here in this data world.
Elo's never done this before, so I suppose I'm looking for some sort of not location, but some sort of scanning function within the data. And I picture Elo sort of like walking through this city of numbers and just sort of like moving these large blocks around until something looks as though it is either scanning capabilities or like location services, because I picture all of that in the data to be sort of near each other, you know, like it would be on the same block. Different data has different colors, you know, so like different blocks of this sort of, I guess, data city in the ship and Elo's mind. There would be like a block of just purple numbers, different shades and hues depending on what the code was for. And then across would be yellow and then green and, you know, like everything. And then if there were different systems that intermingled, the code would be multicolored.
That's very cool and rules. So you're sort of like moving through this stuff to find where the ship's sensors are, basically. It doesn't have like super long range sensors, but you would at least be able to like scan the enemy or something like that. And you're stepping through that. Give me a perception check. Let's call it hard.
My perception's really bad, dog.
Yeah, both of ours. Remember, this is not our gig.
Yeah, we are not great at this. Here we go. Ooh, 3 failures. I find nothing, Jon Snow.
Cyberspace is attacking Elo.
Just out of the corner of your eye, whatever sense that is, something flickers green.
If it seems odd to Elo while looking through all of this, sifting through all of this data, they would make their way over to it and try to decipher what it is.
I imagine, like as you've described it, the data has sort of like definition to it, you know? So when you're seeing everything, it's got shape. But what's coming out of like in the corner of Elo's eye like refuses shape almost.
Oh.
And do you ever get those like spots in your eye?
Mm-hmm,
or like little floaties?
Because we're all getting older. Yes, we're getting cataracts.
and it's like when you just sort of like unfocus your eyes, you can see this like stuff floating there, and you try and like look at it, and it like you can never like actually catch it. That's kind of what's happening. So Elo sort of like starts to move to this thing, but as you do, like it defies shape again and moves away, drawing you further from this data.
I think Elo would continue pursuit, and if after maybe running a few blocks of this and is still unable to sort of get this data, would maybe I suppose take a snapshot of from a distance what this would look like so that they can refer to it later.
You do so. And as you do so, you realize you're no longer in this data sphere. You are standing on a planet. The sky is red, crimson, redder than Socorro, almost like blood. And it seems like dusk. There is a fog that is just sort of like hovering in the air. And large and wild plants that seem to be like hanging down to obscure your vision.
And I feel this physically, right? It's not just in my mind like how I was with this data. This is a physical sensation.
It is as if you're there,
okay.
Yes.
Am I ambulatory? Would Elo be able to move? I remember last time I was like stuck in the same spot when this happened.
You find that you can move.
I think the first thing Elo would do was sort of look down at themselves because they were just in this data mine and they're like holding their hands out to sort of like, am I, what happened? Did I miss a chunk of time? Where's Bigax? Looking around the scenery to sort of contextualize what's going on.
Yeah, you look down and you see Elo's parts. Your array of parts are there. And again, it's almost like as you like move to try and look, there's just something almost like smoke, green and out of the corner of your eye, that just seems to dance at the edge of your perception.
I think Elo would call out, Bigax? Verse? Could I roll a perception about my surroundings if I were to walk through these trees that were covering my view?
What are you looking for with this perception check? I only ask because it may not be a perception check.
I'm trying to check out the landscape and maybe orient myself as to if I'm on what planet, if I'm on a planet, if I'm in some sort of, if this is still virtual.
Yeah, I don't think it's a perception check. I think it's another outer rim check.
Well, there's a clue.
I'll give you this for free. It feels real. It doesn't feel like you're in VR.
Okay, so this isn't like I'm in some code, like I've fallen into a code or anything.
Right, yeah.
Okay. So if I'm gonna do that, what's the difficulty?
Give me a hard outer rim check.
Oh no. I got 2 failures, 1 threat.
Just from where you are, you're not able to recognize this planet is.
Is Barney here?
No.
Fuck, okay. So I think, knowing that Barney's not here, I don't see Bigax, I don't see Verse. I'm going to assume that I haven't lost any time at least. And I think I'm just going to keep walking around and trying to find more information. Just exploring the surroundings. I'm very confused.
You step out into this haunting landscape, calling out and your voice echoing through this thick atmosphere. Ground fog sort of like covers and obscures your feet a little bit as you make your way through these drooping plants and bizarre flora. There are sounds of like wildlife from somewhere, but it's like being in the jungle where you can never really tell exactly where it's coming from. And as you step forward, you begin to like crunch onto things with your feet.
Elo looks down. What is it?
On the ground around you are like battle droid parts and dead bodies just underneath you.
Okay. I think... Okay. I'm like, fuck, what the fuck is happening? I feel like Jamie has an inkling, but Ella would have no freaking clue, you know?
Sure.
Okay, I think, can I roll some sort of check about, like, battle history?
Yes, you can. There is a skill for that.
Nice. Warfare? Is it warfare?
It is warfare. Warfare.
And what's the difficulty?
There's a stat called warfare?
Yeah, apparently.
Whoa, it's right there. I've never seen that one.
Oh, we're gonna use all the skills today.
Right above xenology.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay.
That's for aliens. It's gonna be a daunting check.
Oh,
I'm
God
sorry.
damn it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
That's okay.
I had to think about it for a little bit, but yeah, it's gonna be a daunting.
Which
check.
is
just 4 purple.
Okay. I got 3 successes, 5 threats. That's a lot of threats. That's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to throw this out there anyway. If there's any survivors, maybe Elo starts to get under fire.
This carnage looks like it's over.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah. But I like your instincts, like thinking like this looks like a battle. What battle could this be? And there are hints strewn about these bodies. The red robes they're wearing, the unique tattoos. This is a battle that you don't know much about because everything Elo has heard about this has been rumor. Whispers in cantinas between smugglers with Borsk. Rumors about the Separatists wiping out a whole civilization. Conjecture about the disappearance of the mysterious witches of Dathomir during the Clone Wars.
Oh shit. Alex's reaction right now. I'm just like, oh god. Okay, so I know roughly where I am, or at least what this is. But how the fuck did I get here, dude? This has got to be... For the timeline, this would have been in the past?
Yes.
I've got to be, like, freaking stuck in... Keep reverting back to this place that Elo took part in this battle, apparently. I can't think of any other reason they would be there. Whether it was as a medical droid, I don't know, because they're pieced together. So
it's very fun hearing Jamie play this out in her head and real life. Like, this is great.
I'm so sorry, listeners, if this is annoying for me to like talk this out.
No, this is an experience. You don't get this is like something we don't get experience because like Ian and I, you know, we're Star Wars nerds. We were all about it. You're newly indoctrinated, right. And so like all this is happening to you, and you're like, wait. Let me piece this together. This is great.
As this realization comes about on you, you hear a sound. This one seems to be more pinpointable. It's like deep and song-like almost. Sonorous. Like
I think as soon as Elo hears anything, it would be like pinpoint location and full on sprint to whatever this is coming from. This is the first point of contact. This has happened to Elo a couple times where they've been unable to get any information or idea of what the fuck's happening. So if there's any contact that can be made, Elo is going for it.
Elo books it through these bodies now running through this mist, it parting around again. That like something like as you are focused, like you can feel that sort of like green shapeless thing just sort of like crowding around the edges now that being able to take up more real estate around your perception as you like focus in on this thing. And the sound gets louder and louder as you come towards it, and it seems to be coming at you fast, and it is this enormous whale-like creature that is huge, big mouth, big nose, like tentacles coming off of it, sort of like flowing off of it from the back, and it seems to be swimming at you at incredible speeds.
I'm in the jungle.
No, well, floating.
Okay.
Floating right at you.
Okay. Well, then Elo is probably... I think Elo will probably be stuck in shock and looking at this thing. Does it look like it's fleeing?
No, it is coming.
It's coming
right
for me. Okay, instinctually, Elo is going to grab for their disruptor pistol, which is not there. And then realizing that they don't have a weapon, is going to run the other way.
I am going to flip a dark side point. And this is going to be the Alex.
His face.
Alex rolled his eyes so hard that they hit the wall behind him.
Cause man, you're gonna not waste. You're going to spend dark side points on backstory event. You cruel man.
As you run the other way, this huge whale creature just like rams into you. Elo, you can feel the impact of it hitting you as it like glances off of you, just flying over you, and crashes into you. Suddenly, like there is a data scramble, and you are back in the ship like data area. Sensors are going off everywhere, like you have dropped out of hyperspace. BGAX in the cockpit, like suddenly sensors start going off. Boom! You crash into something and the ship is spinning out of control. You have dropped out of hyperspace and are now like flying in a crazy way away from this impact. I need you to take a point of hull trauma.
No, come on.
No more.
We are at single digits hull trauma. 9 hull trauma. But we are only 15 system strains, so we're looking good on that part. That's like having 120 coins in Mario Party, but no stars, and everybody else has stars.
It is so like that.
This is exactly what
You
this
know,
is like.
we need to find a Kaylee is what we need.
Verse just like screams an expletive from somewhere in the ship. Bigax, what are you doing?
I need to write the ship. I'm gonna try and get us right. Are we still in space, or are we on a planet?
Bigax freaking hits a planet.
You can see you are still in space. You haven't hit anything terrestrial. I think what it is like you're rolling around and spinning. You know you've dropped out of hyperspace. You've clearly hit something. The ship cockpit is rolling around. We're seeing like enormous eyes, like tentacles flapping, huge mouths, and there seems to be like many of them. As you struggle to right this ship, I need you to give me a piloting check to try and like get this back under control.
I feel like Bigax is never gonna live this down.
Oh, yeah, we were just talking shit about this too.
Give me a hard piloting check.
Okay. 3 failures, 1 advantage, and 1 triumph.
Yeah, it's not a success, but it is a triumph. We gotta respect that crit.
So the ship doesn't blow up.
We don't fall to bits. That's good.
I'll give you the negative, and I want you to give me the triumph. I think what it is you are able to like right the ship. You ping you see all of these features going on, and you're like ping-ponging between these creatures in space out here, and for each one you're smashing up against them, taking 1 hull damage for every failure.
That's 3. 3.
God.
3.
Oh fuck. We're so fucked.
Holy shit! We are. Well, there's red lights going off in the ship.
But what is that triumph?
Maybe the triumph is that we scared these things from the impact. Like they didn't expect us to show up. And so by us appearing and bouncing off of them, however they're floating and flying through space, they meander away aggressively as we're just like, ah! And so we're pulled out, but they are, they're still there, but we still take damage, but we're just kind of like, getting right away from them. Do I know what system we're in at least?
Taking a quick glance at the readouts and seeing where you are on the navigation charts, like you are still somewhere between Scarif and Socorro.
Bigax, after getting the ship normalized and hearing the sirens go off, Bigax is gonna like flip the autopilot if it still works, and he's gonna spin around and look to Elo, run back to where Elo and Verse are, and he's just gonna say, "What the criff is going on back here?"
What do you mean what the criff is going on back here? What's going on up there? What happened?
We dropped out of hyperspace.
Is everything okay? What's going on?
Well, and he was just he looks up, and the red lights are still flashing. The noise is going off. No, everything is not okay. What are they doing in there? And he points to Elo as they're hardwired into the console. They're the ones that pulled us out of hyperspace, because I sure as hell didn't pull us out.
Elo, we need you out here.
Do I hear this?
You do.
I picture it as like Elo is back in these data streets and just hears this echo from above, and they'll like disconnect, I suppose, and their little eyes start blinking back on, and Elo is going to be awoken by these alarms and red flashing lights, and is going to see both Verse and Bigax there looking worried as Criff, and is going to ask what the criff happened.
That's a good question. You tell us.
Well, I was in the data, and all of a sudden was brought to a planet. It's all very confusing.
You're right. What were you looking at in there?
Elo's gonna look directly at Bigax because they've confided in him about this. I believe it was the corrupted data in my system. It seems to have brought up flashback memories.
Great. Well, the ship is in, we'll be fine. We're floating. We're still alive. I could do a scan or something again.
Are we safe?
Those things are moving away from us, so yeah.
Things?
Oh yeah, by the way, we hit some sort of beast. Yeah, I don't know what they were.
Verse runs over to the cockpit to see what's going on.
Bigax looks at Elo. I can try and go in again if you want me to. It's just
I'm afraid of what we might find.
If it's affecting my operating system, we may have to.
Okay. I'll get the deck.
And he'll kind of motion for Elo to go to the common area where like the seats are. And then he'll go grab his deck that he hid under the bed from when the Imperials we landed on Scarif.
Whoa, hey! Yo, you gotta check this out. You gotta see this.
Bigax will run with his gear to the front.
Elo too.
She's like, that's what hit us? She points out the cockpit, and you can see these creatures now that you're not like so up close to them. They're like these enormous they look like big whales with like tentacles coming off the butt of them, and they seem to be like moving away from you.
What a strange
Creature, right?
Strange creature, yeah.
You can roll me some xenology if you want.
Every
Oh,
skill.
yeah, let me roll.
Every skill.
Every skill.
What's the check?
Let's call it average.
Oh, one failure.
The only thing that you know about these is that they are called purgles.
Purgles.
Could you use it in a sentence, please?
The purgle fucked up our ship.
There you go.
Elo is definitely going to mention to both Verse and Bigax. That's the creature that I saw when I was in my flashback.
You saw this thing?
Yes, I believe it's what ripped me out.
Oh, yeah, because you were hooked up to the ship, huh?
Correct. I was in the data fields trying to find the code so that we could locate the pirates, and then was swept away into some sort of memory when this creature sent me back to the data fields.
That's unusual.
They'll just keep looking out at the window, at the cockpit window, and seeing these things just float by.
Yeah, and as you do, like, you see this, like, pod of purgles sort of, like, floating by. You can see some flotsam of the way that's now, like, scattering across the emptiness of space. And their tentacles, like, fold out, so it looks like they're, like, stretching out. And you can see, like, bioluminescent lights, like, traveling down from the tips of them towards the center of the animal. And they just, like... you can see these lights like traveling, signaling down their tentacles, and then almost as quickly as they were there, they jump away through hyperspace.
That's so cool.
Bigax looks at as they jump.
Wait. They just jump?
It looks like it.
Alright, well, before we go on, I need to make sure my navigator's in tip-top shape, so I'm gonna dive into their head for a minute.
Okay, I guess I'll try and do what I can here. She just like starts like hitting one of the panels just to like get steam to stop pouring out of it.
Bigax puts his hand.
No. If steam's coming out, you gotta go downstairs and check down there like that one time when you went in the engine room.
This is not worth 1,000 credits.
Well, dying isn't worth 1,000 credits either, so I mean, it's either die or live and get the 1,000 credits, right?
She just like raises a finger at Bigax and just like, I'm walking away. I'm walking away. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm walking away. You can hear her down the hall. Not saying anything. I'm walking away.
He'll grab his deck and he will go find Elo in the common area. I'm gonna hardwire into Elo's head again and go deep sea diving.
All right, I like it. If this is okay with Elo.
Yes, it is more than okay, and Elo is actually going to tell Bigax, stay in until you're able to figure out what is going on.
Okay, if you say so.
He'll plug in, open the new deck, and get cracking.
Bigax plugs his deck into some port connected to Elo, and we take a deep dive. We are going back into Elo's head. Jamie, what can you give us description of what that is again?
Cinematically, you would see blackness and then Elo standing in the center. With Bigax sort of jacking in, I'm not sure if he would be more of a conscientious observer or if he would also cinematically sort of take on a physical form. That's, I suppose, up to you, Alex.
Last time it was more of he was in there and witnessing it through the monitors of his device.
Yeah, it was kind of like the Matrix, right? Like it's sort of like Bigax is the operator and Elo is like inside the matrix. So we're just seeing like pure data.
Yeah. In this instance, he would look to find and isolate the section of LO's mainframe or their whatever system manages interconnectivity or connecting to outside systems, with specifically looking at navigation. So it's like that was one of their main, their ability to assist with navigation systems.
Let's do this. I'm gonna need a computer roll from BGAX. Jamie, from you, I think I'm gonna need LO to guide us, because right now BGAX has on his screen like a lot of numbers and a lot of like ship logs from the stuff that you just saw. But even as you interface with this in your way, in this like quasi-physical way, there's nothing in here that suggests what you experienced. So what we're gonna need from LO is to guide us to what you are trying to find out.
Sure. I kind of picture this void and going through this memory bank as like the in-between, where it's like you're seeing things play out in front of you in these scenes, but I'm the conscientious observer in this dark sort of void. And Ella, while going through all of this, is going to refer to that snapshot they took of this strange green code, I suppose. It was like a code that they followed and were unable to get, and is just going to continue walking through this memory until they get to that point, and then they're going to see if they can find anything similar in this void that would like either a similar code, a similar shade of green. I'm not really sure what we're looking for, but I have that up as like a reference to, okay, this led to the occurrence of me being shot back into this planet, so it must be related.
BGAX, you see this data pouring out before you, and like I imagine BGAX immediately starts like putting together patterns or whatever, like trying to connect the dots, see what's going on, see where things are out of the ordinary.
You would look for anything that's like similar to what you saw the first time, that string of code that was like, it didn't match.
You've seen this weird code before that you haven't been able to like figure out, that doesn't belong, and you're looking for that. Okay, cool. LO, you begin to like move through this void and move through your memories. You can see them like, I mean, I feel like it's almost like moving through fourth dimensional space, where as you are like physically walking, we're like just like passing through these moments that LO has categorized. We're walking through their life, stepping through their moments, through the death of Borsk, through the most immediate memories, through the ones of conversations and flights long past. And as you do so, you can feel that like green, unshapable thing sort of like start to come around you. And I think like you can feel this form, this like green mist, like it's always just like lapping at the corners of your perception, like almost like it is trying to fully engulf you. And by trying to like focus on it and focus on these memories, you keep it at bay. But you feel almost as if you let this consume you, it might reveal itself.
I'm gonna do that. But first, Ella is going to try to make communication with BGAX, and I picture that as BGAX just seeing a text go across one of his screens. Are you seeing this? And then Ella's going to attempt to screen share with BGAX their visual interpretation of what they're seeing. And I want to flip a light side point to do that.
Oh, okay.
Because if I'm going to let this thing take over, I want BGAX to see what's happening.
That's super cool. So I think BGAX, well, I need you to make me a hard computer check.
I'm gonna flip a dark side point. I see it.
I'm gonna flip a dark side
Dang.
point.
Yeah, I see it in your face.
Upgrade one of those to a red because this is delicate work. Like being inside here, especially with this sharing. This is very delicate work.
I need the Force with me on this one.
Come on, all you dead Jedis.
2 success, 1 threat.
Elo, I need you to take a system strain. Not a system strain. What is it? A regular strain. Because you're not a ship.
I am not a ship.
Not anymore. Bigax, you begin to see the screen of your deck like literally like warble and move. What does your like deck readout look like? Like, could you describe that a little bit? Like, what like is there a color? Is it very pixelated? Like,
Probably be like, you know, those cool Star Wars non-square windows that are like kind of hexagonal. I would think the colors are more like a deep blue with some dark blues kind of going on. I don't know if you ever played this game, but a long time ago there was this game on PS1 called Front Mission 3, and you could customize your desktop. One of the options was to customize it with like this weird blue background, but it was a gradient, and it was going like from light blue on the bottom to dark blue on the top, almost black. So something like that, where it transitions with a gradient.
got it. That blue gradient begins to turn green.
What? So whatever is happening is changing reality?
This, your screen begins to turn green, and it is going to try and expel you from this computer.
Excuse? Okay, so I have defensive slicing.
Okay.
When defending computer systems, add a black die per rank of defensive slicing to opponent's checks.
Oh, okay. How many ranks you got?
1.
We're gonna do an opposed roll, so I need you to roll your computer's skill.
I'm gonna flip a light side point.
Okay. We're going for whoever has the most successes.
I have 3 successes on my first 2, and 1 advantage. And plus 2 advantage, so just 3.
I wish I could show you this. I can't.
I don't believe you, liar.
Fake news. Fake news.
But I have double triumphs.
Whoa! This thing really wants me out of there.
That's 2 times respect the crit.
Oh no.
Toodles.
It's gonna push me out of your brain, and then you're gonna turn into an assassin droid.
Yep.
And kill everyone on
That's
the
what's
ship.
gonna happen.
So
I think I've got to do that. I think you get expelled from your own system. Like, it goes green and then like just like sparks and or it like overheats and like shoom, like it's gone.
Bigak's just like,
Cree bought me some gripping awful parts.
and then he'll look at the readout and like he'll look at his little mini screen and it's just like all this failure, and he's like shocked. It's not something he's ever seen before.
Yeah, it's wild. It should never have done this. This is very strange. Hello. You are now alone. You can feel like you're alone. You went to try and share this with Bigax, and instead it seemed to have disconnected you. And you are alone with this presence.
I think sensing that Bigax is no longer with Elo, Elo is going to verbally criff and is going to let this sort of green thing take over. Like, still sticking with the plan. If this is what it takes to get answers, Elo is going to let it envelop them.
Elo stands there in this void and lets this green smoke swirl up around them. First it covers their feet, winding up their body, enveloping their torso until it engulfs them fully. And Elo disappears in this strange fog. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Respect the Crit, Empire's Edge. If you like what you heard, please consider supporting us by giving us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. It's a simple thing that will really help us grow the show, and we love to read your feedback. For more information about the show, visit @RespectTheCrit on Twitter and Instagram. Bigax is played by Alex Herrera, who you can find on Twitter @AEHerrera or on his Twitch channel, WadeWolf10. Ello is played by Jamie Lee Bonez, who you can find on Instagram @jamielee.bones. I'm Ian Duncan, your GM and MC, and you can find me @idunks on Twitter and Instagram. The original music featured in the show is provided with permissions by a variety of artists and are linked in the show notes. Please support them by visiting their platforms to check out more of their work and tell them how much you like the show. The Star Wars role-playing system and books are published by Fantasy Flight Games. And remember, whatever the system, whether it's a miss or a hit, you always gotta respect the crit. Thank you very much, and may the Force be with you.
And we have central air, so it's cold.
Oh, must be nice.
Fancy.
I got air in one room that's central to me, so
I have air in the sense that I can breathe oxygen. It's very hot oxygen, but
yeah, that's not good for my lungs because there's a fire.